Let's go deeper now on that poll about teachers looking to quit their jobs because of COVID burnout. It's coming at a crucial time for students, many of whom are just starting to return to the classroom after months of remote learning. NBC News political reporter Adam Edelman has been following the story for us. Adam, walk us through the survey. What else did teachers really say here?
Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, this was a pretty eye-popping survey. We saw that 55% of educators across the country said they were now planning on leaving the profession earlier than they had intended. That's a massive uptick from the 37% who had said that in August. So just halfway through this school year, the number has just skyrocketed. What we're hearing from teachers, both anecdotally and through this kind of polling data, is that almost 3/4 of them had said they've had to take on other teachers who have since left their jobs or their responsibilities, kind of adding additional students, additional classes, additional coaching. And there's just been a lot of anger, frustration, and unhappiness and fear regarding the inconsistency of COVID measures at public schools across the country. A lot of teachers pointed specifically to there not being proper ventilation or insufficient new ventilation measures, no HVAC, et cetera. And I think the general inconsistency of going in person and then going to remote, back and forth, it's as stressful for teachers as it is for families. And those are many of the reasons we're seeing this kind of uptick in educators wanting to leave the field.
Well, speaking of that uptick, what are the implications of this poll for those districts that are already struggling to keep teachers in the classrooms? And what are teachers saying about the specific things that they need in terms of help right now?
So this is an area I've looked at dating back to even before the pandemic. The teacher shortage in this country has just been an enormous problem in the just broader field of education and education public policy. According to government data analyzed by the National Education Association, the big union that put out this poll, there were, as of this current week, 567,000 fewer teachers now than there were before the pandemic. That's just a massive uptick in teachers leaving the field, and they're just not finding new teachers. So this kind of shortage that existed before this pandemic crisis, it's getting worse. It's getting a lot worse. And what are teachers saying? This poll addressed that, but we also hear from teachers directly on this issue. More than 90% of respondents to this NEA poll said the best way for them to see improvement in their careers and to stick around would be better pay. More than 90% said that a better, another way to improve things would be to hire more teachers. So, current teachers aren't doing 1, 2, 3 times the work. And then a really interesting thing we've heard both anecdotally and in this poll is a majority of teachers say what they'd like to see is help with serving the mental health needs of their students, adding more staff that can address that problem specifically. We've seen a real explosion in mental health problems among children over this pandemic, and a lot of that falls on our nation's public school teachers and educators who just in current times don't have the time or frankly the training to handle these kinds of challenges appropriately. So that's what they're asking for, and we're seeing some action on the state level to address those concerns.
All right, NBC's Adam Edelman for us there. Adam, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.